Have you ever wondered where you truly stand on the financial spectrum? Knowing the different levels of wealth isn't just about falling within a particular range of monthly income. It's about recognizing your current position and its direct impact on your lifestyle and future. So in this video, we'll explore the various stages of wealth, from the level of not having a paycheck to giving out paychecks. We will provide you with insights on how to progress through each level. So make sure to stay till the end to gain a complete understanding of what a poor to wealthy journey looks like, the steps you can take to change your bank balance, and more importantly, live the life you want. The first financial level is one most people are sadly familiar with. They are either currently at that level or have once been there. Extreme poverty. It's having no paycheck. This level is the bottom of the bottom because not only don't you have an income, you have no job to earn from. At this level, there is no money for basic needs. Think about moving around for interviews, building your portfolio, getting needed skills, or even looking presentable enough to impress the hiring manager. All these need money, so if you don't have money, you might not get a job. And if you have no job, you won't be able to make money. So yes, it's a vicious cycle. You see, most people find it very difficult to break out of this level. They live each day surviving on goodwill and welfare programs. These people are also living in shelters or on the streets, not knowing where the next meal will come from. Next, there is poverty. This is only slightly different from the first. The people on this level have jobs. They can also afford very basic needs like shelter and food, but that's where it stops. They cannot enjoy the fun things of life, no matter how cheap they are. No scoop of ice cream or snacks from the roadside vendor for them, because every cent matters and the goal is only survival. The major problem with this level is anxiety, and the reason is simple. People living from paycheck to paycheck always worry about what would happen should they lose their jobs. To avoid this, they put in their very best at work, leaving no room for them to have a life outside it. They are very hardworking, even if they hate their job. As a result, they never get to figure out what they really want to do with their lives. For them, work isn't about professional fulfillment. That is a luxury they can't afford. It's about survival. They work on autopilot regardless of how they feel because the goal is simple: not getting fired. But breaking out of this level is also tricky. This is because it involves risks those at this level might not be willing to take. But you can't do this blindly. You need to set a financial goal. How? It starts with figuring out how much you have and how much you need to take that career risk. This is followed by living on a budget that allows you to get to your goal as fast as possible. Once you have saved enough, don't hesitate to quit that job you hate and work on the ideas you have. Then you'll be on the right track to move into the next financial level, which is lower middle class. At this stage, you can afford the basics, and if you play your cards absolutely right, some cheap luxuries. Now you have a bit more financial freedom and can start putting away some dollars and cents from your income. Of course, this level isn't the best, so if you want to get out of it, you have to focus on investing, not only saving. But this should only come after due diligence has been made. You should also be very deliberate about managing debt so that when opportunities come, your earnings will be available, not tied up in bad debt. Once you've successfully managed all of this, you'll find yourself in the next level, which in the past would have been middle class. This level is missing because it has become almost non-existent. Right now, you are either rich or poor, with no middle ground. upper middle class. At this level, you can afford your basic needs, the occasional splurge on what you want, and tangible assets you can invest in. Here, you don't have to hope to be able to buy a property or a car. You can actually take out money and get it. Of course, you still look at practicality and future gains when choosing ventures to invest in. You won't be investing in projects to satisfy your conscience just yet. At this level, investing is still for just one goal, and it is not the future of science or the preservation of orcas, but to increase your money. At this level, you are still counting the zeros in your bank account and actively thinking of how to double them. It isn't a bad place to be, but what you need at this point, of course, is to keep investing, avoid debts like a plague, and most importantly, get a financial advisor to guide you on what ventures to invest in. That's one of the secrets of the next level. Let's see what it is about. Millionaire. This is the multiple income level and the sweet spot in finance most people desire to get to. Now you have your money actively working for you. So here you have options. If you don't like a particular stream of income, maybe for moral reasons, you can go ahead and shut it down. That was a privilege that could not be considered at previous levels, where what determined what you did was securing the highest financial return. Because now at this level, you probably have properties, stocks, fixed assets, and a couple of cryptos at the multiple income level. Keeping track of your financial footprint is starting to look like a full-time job needing a financial advisor. At this financial status quo, you can even throw in some philanthropy, some holidays, and even choose whether you want to work or not. You are now part of the 1% that eats breakfast in New York, lunch in Venice, and dinner in Hong Kong. Yet you have financial security and sufficient resources to withstand economic downturns and unexpected expenses without compromising your lifestyle. Some people are satisfied at this level, but if you want more, pay attention to the next stage. Multimillionaire and billionaires. At this peak of financial freedom, money is just a means to fund your passions. If you think you deserve a plot on the sun, you go for it. Those at this level aren't counting their dollars. No, they pay people to do that. They don't even monitor it themselves. That is a task that, if you get it, you could easily be on level 3 of the wealth ladder. These people could just buy a property because it reminds them of a story a dear friend told them, or buy a car to show off to another friend who just got the same car. Those at this level are the 1% who enjoy a lifestyle most can't dream of, or if they can, maybe don't want to. These people can make significant philanthropic contributions, invest in ambitious projects, have buildings and cities named after them, and create lasting legacies. They can even go as far as impacting economies. If their goal is a world with no fuel, they can use their money to go about achieving that. They don't care how much they have to dip into their resources to realize their goal because they aren't scared that they will reach its bottom. Their wealth is like the bottomless pit, but filled with money. And that won't change anytime soon because they maintain great financial habits of investing, managing debts, getting counsel on business ventures, and setting new financial goals every time. Now, to the big question. How do you transition from one level to the other? How to progress from each level? The first step is to set a goal. You need to know what level you are at and which you want to get to. Once you do that, budget, save. Once you have a bit tucked away, the next thing is to look for investment opportunities. This could be a new or an existing business. Whichever it is, get enough knowledge about it before putting in your hard-earned pennies. As you do this, don't forget to manage liabilities. You don't want any bad debts on your portfolio, so ask questions when you are unsure and watch your balance grow